Hello, welcome here to another edition of Husker Chat Live. John Callahan with HuskerOnline.com as another day away. It's Thursday, spring game on Saturday. And as always, Husker Chat Live brought to you by Sandhills Global, powered by ABM. If you have equipment to sell at auctiontime.com. And yesterday we talked to a lot of key guys on the offense. Today on Husker Chat Live, we got some more key players here on the offense as we're joined by quarterback Casey Thompson, running back Gabe Ervin Jr., wide receiver Alante Brown, and then tight end Nate Boerkircher, all joining us. Guys, welcome here to Husker Chat Live.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Thanks.
Well, let's get right into it. Casey, we'll go to you first here. We haven't talked to you on Husker Chat Live since you first got to Nebraska. I'm sure a lot has changed since January. You've been in town 3 or 4 months. Kind of where are you at with this transition at Nebraska?
It's been great. I mean, right now we're in the middle of spring ball, obviously, but the first few months have been great. And honestly, they couldn't have gone any better. I would say everything so far has exceeded my expectations from a football standpoint, from the team, from the city of Lincoln. Like I said, when I first got here, it's bigger and better than I thought it would be, and the team has been great. Everybody's just been kind of welcoming me in with open arms, and the coaches and the players. And I've kind of just gotten settled in and comfortable, in this environment and being able to just thrive and flourish with my teammates and with the team.
You've been a part of multiple offenses with Tom Herman initially at Texas and Tim Beck, and then Steve Sarkisian. Now you're with Mark Whipple and Scott Frost. How has this transition been for you, kind of learning really your third different system of your college football career?
Yeah. So like you mentioned, I've been in multiple offenses before. This is actually my third different offense, but it's very similar as far as passing game to Coach Sarkisian and Tom Herman, kind of that Urban Meyer system. But the NFL pass concepts as far as drop back and play action are the same. And then what I like about the offense here is that Frost is very unique and diverse in his run game attack and his triple option and RP. I'm very familiar with that as well from my time spent in Texas, and then also even going all the way back to high school. I did a lot of zone read option work, and so it's been very diverse, interesting, and I mean I'm still learning a lot of the system, but a lot of the passing concepts and plays. I have many different concepts that I can pull up in old playbooks, just with different names and different verbiage.
Let's move on here now to running back Gabe Ervin Jr., who, Gabe, you're not going through spring ball at least full capacity. I know you're dressed out, though, doing a lot of things on your own, just not the live work. Kind of give us an idea of what your spring's been like and how far along are you in your rehab after that injury you suffered at Oklahoma?
My spring has been more mental than physical, just learning the plays mentally, just mental reps more than physical reps. And then I just been doing my individual drill, trying to get the feel of the cuts and the open field cutting, after practice, get like 5 plays drive with Casey just to get that connection down, that repetition, just get my back in shape and just rolling there. Rehab has been great. I'm almost at the finish line with rehab. It's been a tremendous journey, rehabbing with Mark, just getting at it. And I feel strong, back up there, just about to, after spring, just get into summer. And then we're going to start rolling the fall camp. And that's when everything starts to get rolling.
Obviously, you're a competitive guy. I mean, you were the first true freshman ever to start a season opener at running back in Nebraska's history. And then you had your career kind of take a change of path. How hungry are you when you watch those other backs right now that you want to kind of get out there and kind of restake your claim on kind of what you had a year ago at this time?
Man, it's crazy. I'm so hungry that I've never been before. I look at the game at a whole different perspective. I look at the game as like it's a man's game. Everybody has their opportunity to be great, and I'm just going to seize the opportunity come fall, and I'm ready. I'm more ready than I've ever been before, and we're finna take this thing to a whole different level.
Alante Brown, as we kind of look at where you're at this spring, I mean, you're right there really with that number one offense. Where do you think you've grown the last few years? Because you've been very close, to kind of making an impact each of the last couple of seasons. What do you think about this spring? What's it been about this spring that's kind of brought you maybe over the top?
I say really for this year, it's just being more into the playbook, just not learning my assignments, but learning other people's assignments. Like for this year, our coaches taking perspective, to think through the QB's eyes. So if we're number 2 in the read, he's expecting us to come out this route at a certain time. So just being more technical in my routes and thinking about other people's, how they think about in the process. So just being more overall in the playbook.
Is the flow of practice different with the new offensive coaches than maybe what you had before? I mean, what's the biggest difference you notice with the way practice is structured on the offensive end and the flow compared to maybe before?
I wouldn't say like the flow of practice is different. It's just, how we sometimes set the teams up. I would just say the scheme, how we scheme up the defense. If the defense moved this way, we always got something to counter with. So just having somebody that with more knowledge that's an NFL guy come in to Nebraska just help us expand our mind and help us see the defense as a whole.
Let's bring in now tight end Nate Boerkircher out of Aurora. Nate, this has been a great opportunity for you this spring with several of the tight ends out. You've gotten a lot of number 1 reps. How much have you been able to really take advantage of those reps with the top offense?
Honestly, it's been a crazy spring. With a lot of the guys going down, I think that me and then a lot of the other guys in the tight end room have taken a large step. It's been great to get experience, and I think experience through reps and practice develop confidence, and I think that's pretty important for a lot of our guys.
When you first walked on here from Aurora, could you ever have envisioned it going like this, where you've been able to kind of, stake your claim and kind of get in this position early in your Husker career?
I mean, as a walk-on, coming into college, it's going to be a grind. You really got to work, but it's been quick, and I'm pretty excited for it. So,
well, guys, we've got a lot of questions stacked up in the queue, and that's one of the fun things about Husker Chat Live. It allows the fans to ask you guys questions and kind of get your thought, kind of feel the pulse of the fan base. Once again, Husker Chat Live is brought to you by Sandhills Global, powered by ABM. If you have equipment to sell it at auctiontime.com. Let's get into these questions. First one here is from Ty, and it's for Casey. What do you really enjoy about Nebraska, maybe that Texas did not have to offer?
It's a good question. I'd say, from a football standpoint, Texas had everything. I would say the biggest thing that I like so far, that I wouldn't say Texas didn't have the offer, but that I've really enjoyed at Nebraska has been the indoor facility. The Hawks championship, training facility has been great. I mean, the indoor is really nice. And I would say that everything is connected. The way the campus is set up and the way that the training facility is set up to where you could go right from the locker room to the indoor to the weight room. It's all right there, and it's very convenient, and you don't have to walk across campus. So that's probably been the biggest difference that I've noticed so far. I could go almost all day without walking outside because everything is connected through, tunnels and stuff like that. And then what I really enjoy the most outside of football has been the training table, which is the name of the dining hall. And so the food has been good. We get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the food has been better than I imagined. I've never been somewhere where you can get steak and shrimp and have just great food and good healthy options as well for lunch and dinner. So I've really been impressed by that so far.
All right, this question's for all the players that have been on the team the last couple of years. With the recent staff changes and transfers equating, let me rephrase this question for current players. Do you all see the recent changes to the staff and transfers equating to winning close games? I'm drinking the Kool-Aid and excited for the upcoming season. Gabe, I guess start with you first on this. Just with the players you've added and the coach changes that you've made, particularly on offense, where do you think it's going to improve Nebraska the most here this year?
There's definitely been a tremendous change from last year's offense to this offense with the coach players. I feel like these group of coaches that we have now is more of a winning. They want to win. They have all the tools and they have everything to win. And all we got to do is just put it together. and we have more players, athletic players to just get that job done that we want. But it's definitely a 9-day difference of the winning standpoint and the winning culture.
How about you, Alante? What have you seen just with some of the new additions and new coaches? How's it going to help this offense maybe win some of those close games you guys couldn't win a year ago?
I would say with the players, it's just, bringing more electricity to the team, bringing guys that are just as hungry that we are, that want to win. And, the coaches come over and they have the attitude that the season overs in January. So we've been holding that motto since they've been here. So their goal is to be in that natty, and that's the same goal that we have. And we just continue on with their feeling, and it just motivates us more.
And Nate, you're the only guy that has the same position coach on offense from a year ago, Sean Beckton. But from your view, just, what's the biggest differences you see?
I think one of the main things is the addition of Coach Whipple. I think that he does a really good job with his schemes. And I think, honestly, that will be one of the biggest parts of putting us over the edge.
All right, let's move into some other questions. And this one, I know most people might have a similar answer, but they want to know who is the fastest player on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm going to add to that, not named Trey Palmer.
Well, then, like you gave it. How can you say not named Trey Palmer? He's the fastest. Right?
Casey, you throw to these guys. Now, have you seen Isaiah run? Because I know he can run, but he hasn't really been able to run, right? Isaiah Garcia Castaneda.
No, we've seen Isaiah work out, train, run. Isaiah did the first few weeks or first month or so of winter workouts, and he did he ran routes, stuff like that as well. So I got the chance to throw to Isaiah and Alante and Trey and Omar, and I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of fast guys actually. So I say Isaiah would be up there. Everybody says that Oliver's really fast. I'd love to line all the guys up with all the receivers probably, and then Gabe. Gabe looks good running. I would say Ramir. So I would probably say Anthony Grant, Ramir, Trey Palmer, Oliver Martin, Omar, Alante, and Isaiah should probably just do a foot race and see who can win.
Just name the whole team there. My gosh,
we got some fast. You can ask him.
Yeah, offense.
Yeah, I feel the same way. We should just line it up and race.
Yeah, because Alante, what do you think? I mean, you've got a good view of this roster. I mean, where's the speed? Because Samori Torre was the speed guy a year ago. He was one of the top big play guys in the country. You don't have Samori. You lost Austin Allen, the leading tight end in the conference as well. I mean, where are the big plays going to come from, you think?
Like you said, everybody in our group is pretty fast. Oliver, Omar, Trey, me. We got a fast group of guys. Even our running back is pretty fast. So, it's going to be electricity everywhere. So we got guys that can fit into the places and make the same plays that Samori did last year.
Gabe, are you running at full speed yet?
I'm running at tilt speed, full tilt speed.
How do you think your speed stacks up with the other running backs right now?
I feel like my speed is pretty up there with them. Me and Anthony Grant, I've seen that speed for 4 years, 5 years. And I've known Anthony for a long time. And I mean, we've always had the same speeds. Little tad, I don't know. We have to line it up. We really have to line it up if you really want to know. But we all have different speeds, and he more of a quick burst. I'm like a closer. I can get that top speed as I gradually go. But
so Anthony Grant was a senior in high school when you were a freshman.
Yeah.
Did you play on the varsity with him at that age, or were you at the lower levels when you were a freshman back then?
I was in varsity. I got in later in the game, but he was the starter. As a senior, he was a starter. So I just always looked up to him and the abilities. When I was a freshman. I remember when I was in 8th grade watching him when he was a junior in high school. Wow, this dude is legit. And just playing with him now is unreal. It's unreal how we've been coached from the same running back coach. We know the same abilities, how to move in and out of the hole. It's actually pretty good to play with him right now.
Has he changed? I mean, has he changed a lot since that age?
Yeah, he has. He's got more mature. It's got a little bit bigger, and his knowledge of the game to get in and out and facing the defense is pretty elite.
All right, Nate, I'm going to throw this on you. Where's this big play is going to come from at tight end? I mean, we won't get into Thomas's situation, but I mean, what do you see at that tight end room? Kind of when Travis returns and some of the other things, Chris Hickman, guys like that. I mean, what do you think of that room without Austin Allen right now?
I'm pretty excited for Trav to come back. He'll be a big role in the pass game. He's a big body, big, strong hands. And then I think one of the main things is the run game for Trav. He's an insanely good run blocker, and he'll get some movement there. And then I like the speed that we have with some of the guys. Chance Brewington and Hickman got some crazy speed, and I think they'll be really good on the receiving side. So
Reese has got a quick follow-up for you, Nate. Is it Boerkircher or Boerkircher?
Boerkircher.
Because I was getting it right. By the way, your dad and he's corrected me on that. I was butchering that last name a couple of times.
Yep.
Casey, how long did it take you to get Boerkircher's last name right?
I just call him Nate. So.
You don't even try. Nate,
yeah, I'm still I'm just now to the point where I'm learning everyone's first. Like I know everyone's first and last names for sure on offense. Like I just usually call them by their nickname or their first name. But I actually did not know how it was pronounced until spring ball because the offensive staff and the coaches would be like, "We got Boerkircher right here on this route at tight end," or they just would say his name. So I just call him Nate though.
Oh, I got a follow up here for you, Casey. Wants to know just about a quarterback. You're obviously as a quarterback, you get a lot of direct negative comment, whether it's message boards, talk radio, or social media like Twitter after a game. How do you filter through that? I mean, do you shut it all down, or is it hard to shut it all down?
No, I think that like everything else in life, you have to have balance. So for me, I try to balance the highs and lows of my own life behind closed doors, and I try to stay calm, cool, and collected, and even keel, and just control what I can control. But as far as external motivation or external criticism, I mean, I try to keep it the same way. I hear and see things, and if I don't directly see it or hear it, then obviously my family or friends or teammates may show me or tell me. But I don't know. I try not to get too high, and I try not to take criticism. I don't try not to let that get to my head, and I also try not to let the praises and the positive, fan messages stuff get to my head as well. But I'm very appreciative and thankful for everyone who's concerned enough, I guess, to have an opinion and watch Nebraska football and have something to say. But I definitely don't want to let anything outside of our football team and the quarterback room and kind of my own mind and my own sanity, get too far ahead of me. So I try not to pay attention too much to external factors or motivators. I kind of just try to stay within myself and within my team. All
right, got some stuff here for Alante. D has a comment first. Alante is the sleeper on the team. I honestly believe he could be a key piece of the offensive success. And then follow up from another wants to know, is Trey as good as advertised? You've obviously played with a lot of receivers. What jumps out about Trey Palmer to you, Alante?
Just, his speed and how he can maneuver around defense. He's good at making plays, the go balls, making deep passes for us, even the short route. So he's just, a good electricity receiver. So he's good all around. Good hands, good speed. High Q is high. What could you ask better for that?
All right. Brian's got a question for Nate. With the tight end injuries, obviously you've got a lot of reps. What have you seen maybe from an A.J. Rollins or John Goodwin or, some of the other guys like James Carney? I mean, have you seen any of those other guys really take advantage and step up this spring?
Honestly, I think that every single one of those guys have stepped up, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to Beck. And then, honestly, the guys that are injured, they're being great leaders and helping us. And, for AJ, I've seen a lot of improvement in the run game, and Beck's got him a lot crisper on his routes. And Carney's been doing a lot of things a lot much better, and I honestly think we've all taken a big step.
All right. Got one here. I'll go to Gabe first wants to know, what NFL player do you follow and model your game after? And I'll follow up with that. Who's your favorite NFL team, Gabe Ervin?
That's kind of a cliche question because I want to say the Rams. I love the Rams, but they just won the Super Bowl I want to say the Rams because I just love Odell Beckham Jr. Even though I love Odell Beckham Jr. That's my dude. And I love Sony Michel and Cam Akers, Tony Rock as well. I just love that whole offensive scheme. But I muddled my game after Melvin Gordon. I feel like me and Melvin Gordon have similar play attributes. You know, he can run the ball downhill. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can get north and south really quickly like I can, find the holes. We have the same kind of body structure. You know, me and Melvin Gordon have really similar attributes.
I watched Melvin Gordon run for 420 yards on Nebraska once. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, he was Tony Rock against Nebraska. It was crazy.
So are the Rams your favorite NFL team?
Yeah, I love the Rams.
Not a Falcons guy.
Nah, not a Falcons guy. It kind of let me down back. It kind of let me down.
All right, Casey, your NFL team and your NFL guys you like to watch.
I don't have an NFL team. I'm from Oklahoma City, so I mean, there really was not an NFL team. I've actually never been to an NFL game.
Wow.
Person, but my dad is a Dallas Cowboys fan, so it's my family, just because it's probably the closest. But my favorite player by far is Tom Brady, so I enjoy watching Tom Brady, studying Tom Brady. I read his books. I read his diet, workout plan, so I like Tom Brady. Just because of the way he plays the game and his mentality and his work ethic. And then I definitely like Joe Burrow. I got the chance to be around Joe whenever I visited Ohio State. I actually stayed at Joe Burrow, stayed at his apartment with him, got a chance to be around him and kind of watch his story. Literally, when I visited, he was third string, and now he's, he's a pro quarterback and, playing in the Super Bowl. So I have a lot of respect for Joe, but I like Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady. I love watching Aaron Rodgers just because of the way he throws the football and the way he can make different throws from different platforms and arm angles. And I really like watching Patrick Mahomes as well for his arm angles. But more recently, like kind of go back to what Gabe said, I've been studying a lot of Matthew Stafford, and I think he's definitely a sleeper in the NFL. Well, now, people are starting to see that, but I like the way Matthew Stafford plays the game as well. But my favorite player is Tom Brady for sure.
All right, Alante Brown, are you a Bears guy being from Chicago, or you got somebody else? And who are your NFL teams or players you like to watch?
Definitely the Bears. You can't go wrong with going with your hometown team. So for my favorite team, I'm always be a Bears fan. Even though we haven't been pretty good these past years, but something might happen in this draft. But for my favorite player, I would definitely say Stephon Diggs. Ever since he was at Maryland and he got to the league, he's always been my favorite receiver. Just being a great route runner and also attacking the ball like he's a big receiver. So Stephon Diggs probably will be my best player in the league to watch.
It's opening baseball day. Are you Cubs or White Sox?
White Sox all day for Southside Chicago.
Yeah, I figured. I didn't know if you were one or the other. But they play tomorrow, right? The White Sox.
Yeah, they play tomorrow.
All right, Nate, what do you got? Who's your NFL team and players you like to watch?
I'm a Cowboys fan. Always have been. Don't really know why, but I like watching Gronk. I feel like it's kind of a cliche, but he's like the best. He's always been the best tight end in the league, and I think watching Tom Brady and Gronk as a duo is just something I enjoy watching because they got a connection, and it's two of the best of the best. So.
All right, we're taking your questions here. If you're just joining us, you're watching Husker Chat Live as quarterback Casey Thompson, running back Gabe Ervin Jr., Alante Brown, and tight end Nate Boerkircher join us here as we're brought to you by Sandhills Global, empowered by ABM. And this is kind of an off-the-wall question about the training table. Do you guys just eat whatever you want and as much as you want at the training table, or do the individual dietitians kind of keep you on a plan? Casey, what's your training table regimen like?
So there are options. They have pretty much every single fruit you can think of. Fresh fruit, vegetables, meats, proteins, carbs. They have different options there. And anybody that's been there could tell you. They have breakfast options, lunch options, dinner options. You really can honestly eat pretty much any food on any given day, or during the week they rotate. But they have a salad bar, fruit bar. They actually have a cooking station where you can make your own food with different vegetables and proteins. So honestly, the first month I was here, I was cooking my own food every day and just kind of eating like pasta and making a salad. But we have a great dietitian, Dave Ellis. He's been doing it for a long time. He's been around college and NFL, and he educates us and kind of gives us like a plan to follow, or like a list of suggestions as far as what a healthy plate looks like and how much protein and fruits and vegetables you should be eating. But we have the ability to kind of just eat whatever we want, and unless you're on like a weight gain or like a weight loss plan, then I would say for the maintain guys, we pretty much can eat whatever as long as we're eating.
How about you, Gabe? With the injury, I'm sure you probably had to be pretty careful over the off season just to manage your weight and kind of keep it where you want. I mean, what do you typically get after in the training table?
I really just get after with everything, with like whatever's in there, just put it in the box. I'm kind of a simple guy, just whatever they serve, and I just put it in there and then just try to sit down and eat daily, so I can manage my weight and keep my weight the way it needs to be. But since my injury, I've kind of wanted to be kind of lighter, just be lighter on that knee and then build up from there. But just
what are you weighing right now, Gabe?
I'm like 210.
210. Okay. What'd you play at last year?
I played at like around 209, 210 around there. But this year I just want to play like a solid 215. I want to like start fall camp as 210 and then just like gradually build up. First game of the season, I want to be 215.
Alante, I'll pivot this question to you. Take the training table out of it. You got like a free day. What is like your ultimate cheat meal? Like, where are you going if you could just get whatever you want?
Canes.
You going like the full like kinetic box?
Yeah. No coleslaw, extra toast, extra sauce. Yep. Canes definitely.
Regular Coke, everything.
Nah, I'm getting lemonade. I don't drink pop.
Yeah, that lemonade, good.
Yeah. Your hand squeeze that lemonade, I think.
Yeah.
Nate, how about you? I mean, are you a guy that, I mean, you probably want to keep putting weight on, so I'm sure you're knocking down steaks and everything anytime you want.
Oh yeah, I eat as much as I can. My favorite restaurant of all time, and it's not even close, is Freddy's, and you can stack a lot of patties on them burgers. So that and the hot dog they got there. So,
what's the most Freddy's patties you've stacked?
I get a four patties, and that's tough to eat.
That's a big.
Yeah, you got to wash it down for sure.
All right, yeah, I'm a big Freddy's. That's a good place. All right, we got a few minutes left, guys. Lots of questions. I'm just trying to filter in here. This one's about the spring game, and a lot of you guys haven't been a part of a real Nebraska spring game with the crowd and whatnot. We're expecting about 50,000 or so Saturday at the spring game. Should be a great day. Casey, this will be your first chance to really see Nebraska fans. What are you looking forward to the most about it?
Just to see the stadium full and to see the fan base in person for the first time since I've been here. But I heard that it's, spring game here sells out. So I want to see 92,000 or whatever it is seats full. So that would be great to see. But just seeing the red and the white and just being in front of the fans is going to be great. And, just being able to soak it all in and enjoy the overall experience of actually being in the stadium and performing. I actually haven't had a practice or a game here in Nebraska in the stadium yet so far. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. How about you, Gabe? You won't be a part of the game itself, but just how excited are you just to kind of feel a fan base again after kind of a long off season?
Yeah, it's really exciting seeing the fan base, seeing all the fans all out there cheering us on. And I'm also excited seeing the new offensive scheme put into play in front of all the fans, to see it differently from last year. I just love the offense, and I just feel like we all fit great in the offense. So we're going to do really great things, and it's just the start of it.
How about you, Alante?
Just, to see the fans again. I haven't really – this is really my first time being in the spring game. Last year I had surgery on my shoulder, so just being able to show show how the team has progressed over the spring ball and just put on a show for them.
Nate, for you, I bet you're just chomping at the bit just to have all your family from Aurora come down, and
Yep.
you're going to be working probably as the number one tight end. What are you looking forward to Saturday?
We came a long way this spring, and I think just being able to showcase how far we've come as a team will be great. And then another thing is the weather. It's supposed to be really nice, so I'm excited about that.
Weather, that's another thing.
It's about what it's going to be like it won't be like this in Ireland, hopefully in 4 months, but have you guys ever been to Ireland? I'm guessing nobody has, but has it sunk in 4 months or so? You guys are going to be in Ireland, getting ready to play a football game in a soccer stadium, Casey?
No, but I mean, I heard Aviva Stadium is really nice, Dublin, Ireland, and I researched it. I think it holds like between 60 to 70,000. But I heard it's a cool venue over there, and that's something that I actually looked up and researched before I decided to transfer here. So I thought that was cool that we play our first game in Ireland, and the game stays on, and my family's excited to go over there. And I've actually never been out of the country, so it'd be cool to go over to Ireland and play in front of Dublin.
Yeah, Gabe, I bet you're chomping at the bit too, just to get on the field again. I mean, has it sunk in that you're going to be in Ireland playing a football game in about 4 months?
Yeah, that's really exciting. Just being in a whole entire different country, playing the sport that I love. And I'm also excited just to be on the field again. Just from a long time off, a long journey. I'm just so excited to be on the field to play the sport in front with all my team.
All right. Well, Alante, Nate, how about you guys? Ireland, Alante, is that just a game for you, or are you looking forward to the experience?
It's a business trip, but also, it's also exciting. We're going out there to win, but also going to Ireland is something that I never experienced, so I just want to suck it in. But it hasn't hit me yet. It probably won't hit me until we finna get on the plane.
I'll tell you, the adjusting of the time zone will be the hardest part, I'm sure, because you basically lose a night's worth of sleep while you're traveling in the air over there, and then you land, it's the morning. It'll be interesting how you guys adjust to that. Nate, any final thoughts on getting out to Ireland for your first game here this season?
I'm just excited to get out of the country. I've never done that, so that'll be the most exciting thing for me.
Well, Casey, Gabe, Alante, Nate, we really appreciate you guys joining us here on Husker Chat Live. I know a lot of people are excited to see you guys in the spring game on Saturday. Looking forward to that. Thanks again, guys, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that wraps it up here for Husker Chat Live. Once again, brought to you by Sandhills Global, powered by ABM. If you have equipment to sell, sell it on auctiontime.com. For HuskerOnline.com,